throughout, from school to college to MBBS, I topped everywhere. Even my residency years were very good. I was like a blue-eyed girl of all my professors. And suddenly, a person who has never tasted a failure.
So, ma'am, you have mentioned कि like that was my first failure. Ma'am, would you like to tell me about it?
I could not get selected as faculty. So मुझे 1 साल लगा पूरा उससे निकलने में. Then I decided कि भाई हो गया, enough of aims. I went to US. I did my fellowship from UPMC. I cleared my FRCS. In UPMC also, I had the privilege of working and doing my fellowship under a person. His name is Gadi Woolston and Dr. Pulya Fito, who is actually one of the innovators, inventors of OCT.
So, ma'am, tell me about it. Which residents can know like what that book is about?
I spent almost 3 years working on OCT, wrote a lot of papers, wrote this book also, because OCT has changed the way we look at retinal diseases. It has changed the way we look at glaucoma.
So, ma'am, like when you spend time in US in medicine, ma'am, and spending time in India, ma'am, what's the difference?
So the number of patients which you have in India is uncomparable.
What are the major challenges you faced when you started your practice?
But having said that, आप beautiful interiors तो बना लेते हो, but patients who come to your clinic don't come for interiors or the building. They come for the doctor who's sitting in the clinic. So building up the trust with patients in private practice, I would say, is the most challenging thing which you have to really work very hard.
So, ma'am, like how would you differentiate your practice from the big giants?
This is where the smaller dedicated practices have an edge over these corporate hospitals.
Ma'am, what made you decide that you wanted to choose medicine?
See, as I told you, doctors always fascinated me. तो आप डॉक्टर्स की ऑ में होते हो, मुझे लगता है अच्छे डॉक्टर है, अच्छा डॉक्टर है. मेरी एक फ्रेंड थी, उनके फादर यूज्ड टू बी अ वेरी फेमस डॉक्टर इन जबलपुर. आई एम फ्रॉम जबलपुर. एंड देन यू नो, एज आई टोल्ड यू दैट मैं इंटेलिजेंट थी, तो मैंने दोनों एग्जाम्स क्रैक किए. मेरी फैमिली में सारे इंजीनियर्स हैं. So I appeared both in engineering entrance and medical entrance, and I cleared both. But I think एक तो रीज़न था कि डॉक्टर्स की प्रोफेशन मुझे अच्छी लगती थी. दूसरा बड़ा स्ट्रॉन्ग रीज़न था कि माई मदर वॉज माई बायोलॉजी टीचर इन क्लास 12th. उनकी एक हिडन ड्रीम थी कि भाई मुझे डॉक्टर बनना था. मैं तो नहीं बनी तो मेरी बेटी बनेगी. तो शी टोल्ड मी कि बेटा, आई वॉन्ट यू टू बिकम अ डॉक्टर. एंड एज यू नो, वी यूज टू फॉलो वॉट आर पेरेंट्स यूज टू टेल इन दोज ईयर्स. I said कि ठीक है, अब things have changed. You can't tell your children to become what you want them to. They have totally free mind. उन्हें जो मर्जी वही करेंगे वो.
So, ma'am, you choose medicine. Ma'am, afterwards you choose ophthalmology specifically. Ma'am, what draws you towards ophthalmology?
So Satyam, this is a very interesting question. If I look back, you know, in 1990 I cleared both engineering and medical entrances. And I chose to become doctor, I think, because of two reasons. Number one, doctors always fascinated me. And number two, very important reason was my mother wanted me to become a doctor. So I entered into medicine. And while I was pursuing medicine, I started liking surgery very much. So I was thinking that which branch will I take? Gynae was a big no because I was never keen on gynae. But then came my final professional examination and I really did very well in ophthalmology. तो मेरे एग्जामिनर ने पूछा कि व्हाट इज़ द फुल फॉर्म ऑफ एक्साइमर, एंड मैंने बड़ा कॉन्फिडेंटली बताया एक्साइटेड डाइमर. हम पार्सन्स पढ़ते थे उन दिनों में. So, and I scored and I topped in ophthalmology. So that attracted me towards ophthalmology. And I thought कि भाई ophthalmology में retrospect में when I look at it, it's a beautiful mix of medicine and surgery. So it has an entire spectrum. You can practice medical ophthalmology अगर आपको ऑपरेट नहीं करना है, बट अगर आपको ऑपरेट करना है तो you can be in the thick of surgery. And finest of surgery, retinal surgeries हैं, then non-microscopic oculoplasty surgery है. So entire spectrum. So I think till date I will say it's one of the best branches, and given a choice I'll take it again.
मैम, आपके टाइम पे जब आपने मैम सर्जरी लाइक ऑप्थेल्मोलॉजी ली थी, तो मैम लाइक हाउ मेनी वुमेन वर देयर इन योर बैच?
सत्यम, बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है ये. सो इन 1996 when I joined my residency program, RP Syntek का residency program is the biggest residency program world over. उस समय होता था, and one of the best ones also. So I think the proportion of males versus females were almost 70-20, 70-30 या 75-25 कहूँगी. 75 मेल्स थे एंड 25 फीमेल्स थी. हमारा 22 का ग्रुप था. आई थिंक वी वर 3 or 4 फीमेल्स. सो यू नो, और अब बड़ा सिचुएशन फ्लिप कर गई है. नाउ ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजी में I was just reading an article a couple of years back. It has flipped. Now 60% are females and 40% are males. So I'm happy to see that drift, being a female myself. तो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग चेंज आ गया है ये.
मैम ये चेंज क्यों आया? Why do you think?
Somehow ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजी को ना लोग सर्जिकल स्पेशलिटी है, बट बहुत सारे जोक्स आते हैं कि भाई प्लेन में जा रहे हो आप, कोई पेशेंट फेंट हुआ तो ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजिस्ट से कि कोई डॉक्टर है क्या, बिकॉज ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजी में आप क्या होता है इतना ज़्यादा, ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजी सच अ स्पेसिफिक ब्रांच दैट आप ना कई बार ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजी में योर नेक डीप इनटू आईज, तो यू फॉरगेट अबाउट मैनेजिंग द एंटायर बॉडी. सो लोगों को बड़ी वो, आई थिंक it's not a niche but it's a specific field, so people, and secondly तो people think that's a very specific field जो आपको बाकी जनरल बॉडी से शायद दूर ले जाएगी. I think that is one of the reasons. Number two, a very strong reason is that people find that ophthalmology is a very expensive specialty if you want to have a setup of your own. That's true also because your machines are very expensive. If you want to have LASIK, if you want to have a good phaco machine, a good microscope, the machines are very expensive. That is why I think males, because उनका फोकस मेरी फाइनेंसेस ज़्यादा होता है, सो दे आर स्लाइटली ड्रिफ्टिंग अपार्ट. बट बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग होता था व्हेन आई वाज डूइंग माय रेसिडेंसी. सो आई ऑलवेज थॉट बिकॉज आई वाज अ सर्जन एट हार्ट, सो आई थॉट कि ऐसा ना हो कि पीपल टैग मी एज अ फीमेल सर्जन. आई वॉन्टेड टू बी द बेस्ट सर्जन, नॉट द फीमेल सर्जन. एंड एक्सेप्टेंस इन दोज डेज फॉर अ फीमेल सर्जन वॉज नॉट दैट मच. तो लोग आते थे इवन इन माई OPD व्हेन आई वाज अ सीनियर रेजिडेंट, दे यूज्ड टू आस्क मी, मेरा जूनियर रेजिडेंट जो मेल डॉक्टर होगा मुझसे पूछेंगे कि सीनियर डॉक्टर कब देखेंगे. तो इट यूज्ड टू साउंड वेरी फनी. कई बार आप फ्रस्ट्रेट भी होते थे कि भैया मैं ही सीनियर डॉक्टर हूँ, दूसरा जूनियर रेजिडेंट है. बट या एंड समटाइम्स दे यूज्ड टू कॉल कि सिस्टर आप ये बता दो. तो पहले मैं बहुत इरिटेट होती थी कि सिस्टर क्या, अभी हम डॉक्टर हैं, हम सिस्टर नहीं हैं. सो ग्रेजुअली आई मीन लोग गायनेकोलॉजी को तो फीमेल डॉक्टर्स में एक्सेप्ट करते थे, बट ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजी में एक्सेप्ट करना wasn't that easy. That was one of the reasons I started wearing sarees, because I used to look young. मैंने कहा young भी दिखूंगी, being a female ophthalmologist, nobody would take me seriously. So I started wearing sarees, and I love to have one of the most graceful dress for females, I would say. But then what happens, Satyam, once you start operating, you have to get an opportunity. You operate one patient, you give him a good outcome, and the family will follow. So ये beauty है medicine profession की. See, you may do a lot of marketing, you may do a lot of social media, but the best publicity till date is word of mouth. You give one good outcome and trust me, पूरी फैमिली आएगी आपके पास, और वो फैमिली को आपने अच्छा आउटकम दिया, पूरा कुनबा आएगा आपके पास. तो दैट इज़ हाउ टेकिंग स्टेप बाय स्टेप, अपने आप पे फोकस रख के, अपने क्लिनिकल पे फोकस रख के, आई ओवरकम दोज चैलेंजेस ऑफ बीइंग अ फीमेल.
So ma'am, like you choose ophthalmology. Ma'am, was there a time कि like you have doubted yourself the most?
See, I did my medical school from MP, Madhya Pradesh. And then, I did ophthalmology. As luck would have it, I got selected in AIMS. And when I entered into AIMS, AIMS is a very demanding, it's a totally different environment. And I got married to a neurosurgeon who was pursuing neurosurgery, and he was a throughout Amazonian. So at home, I had Aditya, who's a Amazonian, and at AIMS, I was surrounded by all brilliant minds. So I think that was a very important factor which kept pushing me. And I was a very hardworking person from the beginning. So sometimes, when we used to have long hours in hospital, learning new surgeries, doing night duties, and I was married at that time. So sometimes I used to have doubts, but my hardworking nature actually pushed all those doubts. And I did very well in even ophthalmology residency and my senior residency also.
So ma'am, क्या mindset था which you adopted to get yourself out from that doubt?
See, I think the basics have to be in place. So hardworking nature, you have to be sincere, you have to keep reading, you have to be equal to what other people are doing. And the best part was that learning at RP Center was immense. AIMS had one of the best faculties at that time. So when you see people who are keen on teaching, you're surrounded by people who are doing very hard work. So I think that keeps you motivated, and that removes all your doubts that you have to perform. You have to give your best to extract best from the best center which you are there in.
Ma'am, like you worked in RP Center like for 10 years, but then you switched to your own practice, which is based in Gurgaon. So, ma'am, what made you switch to start your own practice?
So Satyam, when I entered into AIMS after spending 10 years, I never thought I will leave AIMS. So I desperately wanted to be a faculty in AIMS. I wrote a lot of papers, खूब books लिखी, papers publish किए, and I thought कि मैं तो AIMS में रहूँगी, ये मेरा घर है. It is still my alma mater, but as luck would have it, I think destiny ने मेरे लिए कुछ अलग plan किया था. I could not get selected as faculty, and that 1 year was very difficult because that was the first failure which I tasted. सो मुझे 1 साल लगा पूरा उससे निकलने में. देन आई डिसाइडेड कि भाई हो गया, इनफ ऑफ एम्स. I went to US. I did my fellowship from UPMC. I cleared my FRCS. Then after coming back, I used to think that, now I should have something of my own where I can work the way I want to work. I can treat the patients I want to treat. Because, being in names, we used to see 60, 70 patients in 2 to 3 hours only. Though, we used to do justice, I'm pretty sure. But, I thought this need to change. We need to spend some more time with the patient so that we can hear what they want to say. So I think that was the starting point when I started thinking about my own center.
So, ma'am, you have mentioned ki like that was my first failure. Ma'am, would you like to tell me about it?
So, Satyam, as I told you, ki throughout, from school to college to MBBS, I topped everywhere. Even my residency years were very good. I was like a blue-eyed boy, blue-eyed girl of all my professors. And suddenly, a person who has never tasted a failure, and I had 2 children at that time, I was married, I had my in-laws, and suddenly, you have a failure. So I had, frankly, honestly speaking, I had no clue how to handle it. So that's why I took 1 year, which is a long time. But then, my family was very supportive. My parents were very supportive. They kept telling me that don't doubt yourself. See, getting into AIMS is, I don't want to discuss about it, but it's a totally different ball game. It does not relate to your qualifications कि आप कितने qualified हो, आप actually eligible हो कि नहीं हो. बहुत सारे reasons होते हैं AIMS में selection होने ना होने के. So then, it was difficult for me to accept. बट जैसे मैंने एक्सेप्ट करना शुरू किया, मैंने लाइफ को बिगर पिक्चर में देखना शुरू किया, आई थॉट, मुझे लगा कि दैट वॉज समथिंग विच डेस्टिनी हैड प्लान फॉर मी. एंड टुडे आई एम वेरी हैप्पी बिकॉज मैं अपने ढंग से काम कर सकती हूँ. मुझे जैसे क्लिनिक में पेशेंट्स देखने हैं, जो करना है, डिसीजंस लेने, वो सब मैं अपने आप करती हूँ. तो दैट्स अ इमेंस जॉय विच आई रियलाइज कि भाई डेस्टिनी ने अच्छा ही किया मेरे साथ.
So, ma'am, when you started your practice, ma'am, in initial phase, ma'am, challenges come. Ma'am, what are the major challenges you faced when you started your practice?
अगेन आई वुड लाइक टू गो बैक टू एम्स, बिकॉज एम्स में क्या होता है, जब आपने 10 साल एम्स में निकाले होते हैं ना, आपको लगता है कि भाई आप बेस्ट हो, आप बेस्ट इंस्टीट्यूट में हो. पेशेंट्स कम विद ब्लाइंड फेथ, और पेशेंट्स आपको क्वेश्चन नहीं करते हैं, जो भी आप उनको ट्रीटमेंट बता रहे हो कुछ नहीं करते हैं. बट प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिस इज टोटली अ डिफरेंट बॉल गेम. आपको स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम A to Z सब मैनेज करना है. तो सबसे पहले तो हंटिंग फॉर अ प्लेस वॉज अ बिग चैलेंज कि भाई विच प्लेस शुड आई स्टार्ट माई क्लिनिक. So, we kept searching for places. We did, my entire family, my husband, my dad, everybody used to go which is the best place where we want to set up complete eye care. We wanted कि basics तो in place हो. It should have ample of parking, security, 24-hour power backup. एक सुंदर सा clinic बनाएंगे. But having said that, आप beautiful interiors तो बना लेते हो, but patients who come to your clinic don't come for interiors of the building. They come for the doctor who's sitting in the clinic. So building up the trust with patients in private practice, I would say, is the most challenging thing which you have to really work very hard. एंड उसके लिए आई वुड से सत्यम कि मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि आपकी वैल्यूज़ इन प्लेस होनी चाहिए कि भाई यू हैव टू बी कंपैशनेट, पैशनेट, बिल्कुल ट्रांसपेरेंसी हो, ऑनेस्टी हो. पेशेंट्स केयर हैज़ टू बी टॉप प्रायोरिटी, विच आई स्टिल टेल टू ऑल माई टीम मेम्बर्स दैट फॉर मी patient care is top priority. So which is, I think, non-negotiable. So that is how you gradually, start building up a practice. Secondly, which I think I wish somebody would have told me, that we are trained as clinicians, surgeons, and suddenly when you start your practice, you have to become like an entrepreneur. which nobody tells you, nobody teaches you. Now you are managing HR, you are managing manpower, you are looking at compliances, you are looking at machine failures, finances, everything. So gradually, I learned it, and I'm proud to say that yeah, I mean I learned it pretty good, but initial years were difficult बिकॉज आप तो सिर्फ डॉक्टर हो, आपको कोई सिखाता ही नहीं है सारी चीज़ें मैनेज करना, कोई फॉर्मल ट्रेनिंग तो हुई नहीं है.
I saw that like you have authored a book on OCT, optical coherence topography. So, ma'am, tell me about it, which residents can know like what that book is about.
So, Satyam, I was very fortunate. The OCT is a imaging tool which has actually changed ophthalmologic diagnostic and treatment modalities also. So I was very fortunate that the first OCT installation in Delhi was in RP Center, and I was doing my research job there. I think it costed somewhere around 30L at that time also. So I had the chance to work on OCT, and I spent almost 3 years working on OCT. Wrote a lot of papers, wrote this book also. Because OCT has changed the way we look at retinal diseases, it has changed the way we look at glaucoma, it has changed the way we look at, I mean, when we are assessing patients of refractive surgery. So I think this has kind of become third end of every ophthalmologist. And because I went into the depth of OCT when the technology just came in, so I'm very hands on. And I mean, it definitely gave me an edge over other of my colleagues when I could know that no, this is the finding, this means this. If this is the finding in glaucoma, this means this. And I keep on presenting about OCT in different conferences also. And to add to this, after I left AIMS in UPMC also, I had the privilege of working and doing my fellowship under a person. His name is Gadi Woolston and Dr. Pulia Fito, who's actually one of the innovators, inventors of OCT. So OCT is a very dear machine. I really love it, and I love the technology.
Ma'am, how was the time you spent with your mentors? How they changed your philosophy?
Uh, See, the if I remember my earlier years, RP Center AIMS had such brilliant faculty that आप अपने आप ही बहुत मोटिवेटेड हो जाते हो बिकॉज दे नो, मतलब इन्फॉर्मेशन की इतनी सारी वो होती है आपके आसपास कि ऑटोमेटिकली यू स्टार्ट लर्निंग फ्रॉम देम, और वो सीप इन करने लगता है आपके अंदर. सो भाई एक्सीलेंट फैकल्टी और उनके एक्सीलेंट करिकुलम आपको बहुत मोटिवेट करते हैं कि भाई आपको बेस्ट करना है, आपको ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजी की पूरी A to Z पता होनी चाहिए. एंड व्हेन आई वेंट टू द US, I worked with Dr. Gadi Woolston and Dr. Pulia Fito, so they knew in depth. So even being doctors, they knew in depth about the machine. What is the technology which is based on the what the technology the machine is based on. So वो आपको एकदम एक आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स थिंकिंग के लिए मोटिवेट करता है. यू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग कि भाई एक तो मशीन है जिसको आप यूज़ कर रहे हो, बट उसके एप्लीकेशंस को आप कैसे वाइडन कर सकते हो, नंबर वन. नंबर टू, दे ऑल्सो मोटिवेट यू टू राइट पेपर्स विच आई फील देर आर 1 or 2 of my papers which are kind of they are cited many times, and I really feel that I'm fortunate that I could write those papers motivated by those guys, because आपको लगता है जो आप इन्फॉर्मेशन ले रहे हो उसको शेयर भी करो आप. सो आई थिंक वो दोनों चीज़ें, एक तो इन्फॉर्मेशन लेना और दूसरा उसको शेयर करना, is something which I learned from my mentors.
So, ma'am, like when you spend time in US in medicine, ma'am, and spending time in India, ma'am, what's the difference?
Satyam,
In
I
medicine.
always say that I mean, for medicine, hands-on and the experience will make you better. So जितनी opportunity मिलेगी आप उतने better होगे. So the number of patients which you have in India is uncomparable. Having spent 10 years in AIMS, I think rarest of rare diseases मैंने इतने नंबर्स में देखी होंगी कि प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिस में बैठ के कभी आप शेक ही नहीं होते कि ये डिजीज़ें मैंने देखी नहीं है. तो आपको ना, मतलब आई थिंक टेक्नोलॉजी वाइज मे बी US and Western countries are better because they get, I mean, the technology much earlier than when what we get it here. But because we have so many patients, the numbers teaches us much more than what they can learn there. So clinically, I think I find ourselves much superior. And because उनके numbers बहुत कम होते हैं technology wise, yes. But I still feel that if you talk about medicine, Indian doctors are the best. Indian facilities are the best. We don't follow those protocols and keep our patients stuck कि भाई ये करना है 1 2 3 हम इसको waiver नहीं कर सकते हैं. We take our tailor-made decision for each and every patient. And in the US there are protocols. You can't breach those protocols and jump onto something. So you have to follow that A B C D. Here we use our brains भाई कि हमें patient में ये है, हम इसको jump करके हम इसको ऐसे करके we need. So it's a tailor-made decision which we take here.
Ma'am, even ma'am, like in my viewpoint na कि like those countries can are technology advanced, but ma'am, India, we can culturally innovate. We can
Absolutely.
culturally innovate, and that's our strength.
बिल्कुल.
And ma'am, like if we talk about the technology itself, when you started operating and technology now, so ma'am, what has changed?
Lot has changed. So, I remember I did my first cataract surgery. I did 30 when I joined in the first month of my residency in a camp. In camp, those days, Satyam, we used to do what is called ICCE, जिसमें हम क्या करते हैं बेसिकली लेंस निकाल देते थे और कोई लेंस डालते नहीं थे. एंड वी यूज टू गिव अ मोटा 10 पावर का चश्मा टू एवरी पेशेंट. ड्यूरिंग रेसिडेंसी वी वर डूइंग एक्स्ट्रा कैप्सुलर कैटरेक्ट एक्सट्रैक्शन, जिसमें हम बड़ा सा कट लगाते थे, कैटरेक्ट को निकालते थे, लेंस डालते थे, एंड यूज टू पुट 6-7 स्टिचेस. And then the latter part of my residency, we started learning phaco, and then came the foldable lenses. And now we have actually, there has been so much of evolution and revolution in front of, in terms of the lenses and the terms of machines, that now we have monofocal lenses, we have toric lenses, we have EDOF lenses, we have trifocal lenses. So actually technology has made cataract surgery very different. It's not only removal of cataract and implantation of lens. It's basically removal of lens and making patients as much as possible spectacle free, which is something which is very, very gratifying. So basically cataract surgery एक simple surgery के बजाय अब more of refractive surgery बन गई है. So this has been a lot of change, and especially because of the lenses that we have.
So ma'am, like you have told ki like there are monofocal lenses, there are trifocal lenses, then there are other. So ma'am, what function does each lens do?
So see, initially we had just had monofocal lenses. So monofocal lenses, as name would say, that monofocal lens का fixed focus है. So mostly we put these lenses for distance focus. कि भी आपका cataract निकाला, monofocal lens डाला, distance you'll see very clearly, but near you'll need glasses, and glasses are usually in range of around 2 to 2.5. And even if you are doing computer work also, or you are working in kitchen, or you are doing your puja part, you are going to need glasses. So monofocal is a fixed focus, mostly put for distance. But then sometimes patients have cylindrical numbers. So monofocal, simple monofocal lenses are not going to address a cylindrical number. अब cylindrical number में क्या होता है, basically ऐसा नहीं कि vision बहुत hazy हो जाता है, but ghosting होती है. So there is usually doubling or ghosting or shadow of the image that you are seeing. So toric lenses have come as a bliss. They have kind of changed the refractive outcome of patients. So even if you're putting a monofocal lens where you have a cylindrical number, you put a toric lens, patient की distance vision बहुत ही clear होती है, and they really enjoy their distance vision. So toric lenses are again very important. But उसके बाद the second innovation which happened in field of lenses was trifocals and multifocal lenses, which used to have lot of rings which could help you focus कि भी आपको दूर का भी दिखेगा, बीच का भी दिखेगा, पास का भी दिखेगा. But as you say कि भी कुछ ना कुछ फ़ायदे के साथ कुछ ना कुछ नुकसान आते हैं. So when trifocal lenses, they have been, there have been lot of evolution in these lenses. The technology is changing, and every second or third year we have some new technology of lenses coming in. So I think we don't have the best trifocal as yet. और ट्राईफोकल्स के साथ में थोड़ी सी challenges आती थी कि भाई because rings हैं, so there used to be glare, there used to be halos, and sometimes patients used to be dissatisfied. And if patient had some retinal problems या patient को कुछ glaucoma है, तो ये patients को we could not offer them these premium lenses. So then came these EDOF or extended depth of focus lenses, which have actually become very, very popular because they don't have glare, they don't have halos, and they give you a good distance vision, a very good intermediate vision, and near भी काफ़ी कुछ manageable होता है. But अगर आपको बहुत fine print reading करनी है, then maybe you will need glasses. But most of the time you are spectacle free. So these innovations have actually changed cataract surgery quite a bit.
So, ma'am, like, what patient is suitable for what kind of lens? How do you determine that?
Satyam, I think this is one of the most important question that every ophthalmologist should pay attention to, because cataract के लिए जो patient आ रहा है वो आप because there are so many options available in the market, and there is so much of marketing happening. So patients know there are multifocal lenses, there are trifocal lenses, there are EDOF lenses, and they're expensive. They may be costing around 1.5 1.75 lakh. So there's many times patient come with that bent of mind कि सबसे महंगा सबसे अच्छा होगा. So this is something where the role of ophthalmologist comes in. So you have to tell to the patient कि भाई best lens or most expensive lens may not be the best lens for your eyes. So when a patient walks into our clinic, we do very important for you is to listen to what patient wants to say. Number two is history taking is very, very important. You have to know what is the lifestyle. आप पेपर पढ़ते हो, आप ड्राइव करते हो, आप पेंट करते हो, आप नाइट ड्राइविंग कर रहे हो कि नहीं कर रहे हो, हाउ कंफर्टेबल यू आर वेयरिंग ग्लासेस. So a detailed history taking and asking and addressing all these questions are very important, and that is how you can actually tailor-made a decision to choose a lens which is the best fit for that patient. Second comes the examination part. So now once you've taken the history, examination is something which also cannot be missed. So we have number of tests which our patients undergo. We do biometry, we do look at their dryness, we look at their corneal topography, we look at their retina, and that is how we decide that भाई आपको कोई कोमॉर्बिडिटी तो नहीं है, आपकी रेटिना ठीक है, आपकी टीयर फिल्म ठीक है. Are these premium lenses going to perform optimally in your eyes or not? So that is how, looking at patient's perspective, looking at what we have learned from the clinical examination, we tell patients that these are the options, and now we help them choose भाई हमारे हिसाब से ये best fit है आपके लिए. It may not be the most expensive lens, but this is what the best option is, and then we help the patient choose and take the decision. We never tell patients कि भाई, never force patient, never push patient for the most premium lens. So chair time I think is very, very important pre-operatively, so that you can reduce your chair time post-operatively. आप पेशेंट को जितना अच्छे से पहले अंडरस्टैंड करोगे और कन्विंस करोगे, पोस्ट ऑपरेटिवली पेशेंट उतना ही खुश रहेगा और आपका चेयर टाइम कम रहेगा पोस्ट ऑपरेटिवली.
So, ma'am, what's the one thing you want कि cataract patient should know before they walk for the surgery?
सी कैटरेक्ट के लिए ना सत्यम बहुत चीज़ें चेंज हो गई हैं इन लास्ट व्हेन आई गॉट ट्रेन टू नाउ. So cataract is something which I would like to tell all my patients that cataract is mostly a aging process. तो लगभग सबको होता है. Cataract is a surgical disease, so do not think that drops will take care of cataract. Cineraria, Ujala, Drishti, they are not going to treat your cataract. You will need a surgery. Surgery is very, very simple, very safe surgery. The advantage of surgery nowadays that कि आपका कैटरैक्ट तो निकलेगा, आपकी ब्लरी विजन तो ठीक होएगी, बट आपका चश्मा भी हट सकता है. So that is a very big advantage of doing a cataract surgery and implanting a premium lens which patient should understand कि आपका चश्मा हट जाएगा. So gone are those days जब पेशेंट कहते थे, अभी भी पेशेंट्स आते हैं कि डॉक्टर साहब अभी पका तो नहीं है. तो वी यूज़ टू डू एक्स्ट्रा कैप्सूलर. जब हम टाँके वाली सर्जरी करते थे तब हम वेट करते थे कि कैटरेक्ट पक जाए, बट नाउ वी हैव सो मेनी एडवांसेस इन टेक्नोलॉजी मशीन्स. तो हम चाहते हैं कि पेशेंट समझे कि पकने का वेट नहीं करना है, कोई सीज़न का वेट नहीं करना है, बिकॉज सीजनल अब हम कोई स्टिचेस तो लगा नहीं रहे हैं. हीलिंग इज़ सुपर फास्ट. सो आई थिंक दिस इज़ वॉट आई वॉन्ट एवरी पेशेंट ऑफ माइंड टू नो.
So, ma'am, how do you explain a cataract to a patient who has never heard of that thing before?
सी कैटरैक्ट के लिए पेशेंट को समझाने के लिए पेशेंट की लैंग्वेज बहुत ज़रूरी है. सो व्हाट आई मोस्टली टेल देम कि भाई एज़ यू ग्रो ओल्ड आपकी स्किन पर रिंकल्स आते हैं, आपके बाल सफ़ेद हो रहे होते हैं. सिमिलरली जो आपकी आंखों का लेंस है विच इज़ क्रिस्टलाइन एंड क्लियर, विच इज़ अ लेंस ऑफ लाइक समथिंग लाइक अ कैमरा, वो ब्लरी होने लगता है, उसके फाइबर्स हेजी होने लगते हैं, तो जो कैमरे में बनने वाली इमेज है वो भी ब्लरी होने लगती है. बट द गुड न्यूज़ इज़ दैट कि भाई आप रिंकल्स विंकल्स को तो उतना ठीक नहीं कर सकते हैं, और बालों को भी आपको कलर करना पड़ता है, बट लेंस को कैटरेक्ट इज़ वेरी मच ट्रीटेबल. सो वी रिमूव द लेंस, वी रिप्लेस इट विद आर्टिफिशियल लेंस, and you get back your vision. And maybe what you get in bonus is freedom from glasses. So I think patients को उनकी language में that's what I try and tell them.
So मैम लाइक अब जैसे इफ वी टुक आउट मेडिसिन एज अ होल, मैम देर आर मेनी अनएथिकल प्रैक्टिसेस इन्वॉल्व by the corporates or by the big businesses. So ma'am, when it is not good for the patient. So ma'am, what's your take on that?
Satyam, see, central philosophy of any hospital or any center has to be in place. And I think ethics and integrity is one of the very, very important core values which you should never deviate from. I can't talk about other specialities or other hospitals or other centers, but what I practice in my center is something that the patient care is never profit driven or it's never sales driven. We will never push a patient for any technology or say any expensive lens. Yes, we do tell them that these are the options, because patient has to know that there are multifocal lenses on one spectrum, there are EDOF toric lenses, there are multifocal toric lenses on the other spectrum which are expensive. So it's their right to know, and then they have the right to choose. So our duty is to tell them that this is what is best for you, but we never push them. So that is number one. Number two, what we also try to, because even if you talk about glaucoma, there are now minimally invasive glaucoma surgeries which have come up, which are again expensive. So we always try to, do a balancing act, so that, we are telling them about the technology, we are telling them the benefits, but it's not that, you have a target that you have to do so many minimally invasive surgeries, you have to do so many multifocals or trifocals. So that is how I practice.
If you have to explain glaucoma to a patient, ma'am, how would you explain it?
Glaucoma, I think glaucoma is very close to my heart, and I have been even in RP Center when I was way back there in AIMS. I used to, I did my fellowship in glaucoma, and I spent 3 years in glaucoma. And I've been doing a lot of patient awareness activities also, because I feel glaucoma is something which detected in time can actually prevent blindness. Contrary to cataract, देखो भाई cataract तो जब भी आपने किया आपकी नज़र वापस आनी है, but glaucoma में ऐसे नहीं होता. So any patient who's coming to our clinic, we have lot of things which are displayed कि भाई क्या होता है glaucoma, कैसे होता है, क्या चीज़ें हैं. But during conversation also, whenever I feel there's a patient who there is some suspicion of glaucoma, I tell them कि भाई you should know about glaucoma, जिसको हिंदी में हम काला मोतिया कहते हैं, और ये बिल्कुल अलग है कैटरेक्ट से. इसमें विजन शुरू में नहीं जाती है, बहुत धीरे धीरे जाती है, और आपकी नर्व्स पे अफेक्ट होता है, आपकी आंखों का प्रेशर बढ़ता है. और बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम विद ग्लॉकोमा इज दैट दिस इरिवर्सिबल ब्लाइंडिंग. तो जो आपको डैमेज हो गया है, जो आपकी विजन चली गई, इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू कम बैक. सो मेकिंग देम अवेयर इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, सत्यम. So what we have been in, since I started my private practice, what I have been trying to do is that we really take a lot of efforts to celebrate Glaucoma Awareness Month. We have made a jingle, we keep making Insta posts, social media posts हम बनाते रहते हैं. हम patient awareness program, मैंने एक program शुरू किया था which is called Nayan, which was to create awareness for glaucoma patients even amongst their family members कि भाई ग्लॉकोमा में क्या होता है, आपको ड्रॉप, बड़ा सिंपल सा ट्रीटमेंट है, ड्रॉप्स डालनी होती है, बट ड्रॉप्स के साथ भी कैसे डालनी है, कैसे वेस्ट नहीं करनी है, कैसे उनके साइड इफ़ेक्ट्स ना हो, सिंपल सी चीज़ें हैं, पंक्चुअल ऑक्लूजन करना है. सो आई हैव बीन ट्राइंग टू डू माई बिट बाय क्रिएटिंग अवेयरनेस, डूइंग दिस स्मॉल लिटिल प्रोग्राम्स, स्मॉल लिटिल वीडियोज़. That is what.
Ma'am, you just mentioned punctal occlusion.
Yeah.
What is punctal?
सी पंक्टल ऑक्लूजन क्या होता है कि जब भी आप कोई ड्रॉप डालते हैं तो देर आर 2 tiny tubes in the corner of your eyes, so all the drops are drained into your nose. सो तभी पेशेंट्स बताते भी हैं कई बार कि वो जब आप रोते हो ना तो आपकी नोज ऑल्सो स्टार्ट्स टू रन बिकॉज ज़्यादा आंसू नाक में बहने लगते हैं. तो सिमिलरली जो ग्लॉकोमा की ड्रॉप्स होती हैं, ना ग्लॉकोमा की ड्रॉप्स कैन हैव सिस्टमिक साइड इफेक्ट्स बिकॉज वी यूज़ बीटा ब्लॉकर्स, यूज कार्बोनिक एनहाइड्रेज इनहिबिटर्स, इनके बॉडी पे साइड इफेक्ट्स हो सकते हैं. अब आप आँख में दवाई डाली, बॉडी पे साइड इफेक्ट कैसे होगा? वो ऐसे होगा कि वो जब नाक में आएगी, नाक की म्यूकोजा के थ्रू ब्लड में चले जाएगी एंड देन इट विल क्रिएट अ साइड इफेक्ट. So to prevent side effect of all these drops, especially the glaucoma drops, we have to teach patients कि उनको punctum occlusion करना है. So जो corner में 2 छेद होते हैं उसको उनको occlude करना होता है. तो it's a simple thing to wash your hands with your index finger. यहाँ पर आप आँख बंद करते हो ड्रॉप डालने के बाद और यहाँ पर प्रेस करके रखते हो अराउंड 1 to 2 minutes. So इसको punctal occlusion कहते हैं. और है तो ये बड़ी सिंपल सी चीज़, बट कई बार हम पेशेंट को बताना भूल जाते हैं. भी पेशेंट है ग्लॉकोमा का, पता लगा उसका ब्लड प्रेशर की प्रॉब्लम भी है, उसको हार्ट की प्रॉब्लम भी है, एंड वी हैव गिवन बीटा ब्लॉकर्स एंड सडनली द पेशेंट कैन हैव फॉल इन ब्लड प्रेशर, कैन हैव वर्सनिंग ऑफ अस्थमेटिक सिम्टम्स. सो आपको इस पंक्टल ऑक्लूजन बताना बहुत ही ज़रूरी है टू प्रिवेंट सिस्टमिक साइड इफेक्ट्स. इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल टेक्निक.
So, ma'am, who is at more risk with the glaucoma?
सी ग्लॉकोमा की रिस्क के बड़े सारे क्राइटेरियाज हैं सत्यम, जैसे पेशेंट को हैव अ फैमिली हिस्ट्री ऑफ ग्लॉकोमा, पेशेंट्स जिनकी आंखों में प्रेशर हाई आ रहा है. यूजुअली 40 के ऊपर आपको स्क्रीनिंग ज़रूर करानी चाहिए बिकॉज 40 के ऊपर इंस्टेंस बढ़ते जाते हैं. अगर आंखों में कोई चोट लगी है तो ट्रॉमेटिक ग्लॉकोमास हो सकते हैं. अगर आंखों में कोई कोमॉर्बिडिटी है कि बीमारी होती है, यूवीआइटिस होती है या कोई सर्जरी हुई हुई है, तो सेकेंडरी ग्लॉकोमास हो सकते हैं. आपने बहुत दिनों तक स्टेरॉइड्स लिए हुए हैं तो आपको ग्लॉकोमा हो सकता है. सो आई थिंक दीज आर दी रिस्क फैक्टर्स. जब हम पेशेंट को बोलते हैं कि भाई आप में ये रिस्क फैक्टर्स हैं तो प्लीज़ अपना एवेल्युएशन ज़रूर कराओ. बट आई वुड रियली लाइक टू हाईलाइट कि फैमिली हिस्ट्री समथिंग विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज ग्लॉकोमा रन्स इन फैमिली. तो अगर आपको ग्लॉकोमा डायग्नोज होता है तो आई टेल पेशेंट्स कि भाई प्लीज़ अपने सिबलिंग्स का चेकअप ज़रूर कराओ. अगर आप एल्डरली हो और आपको डायग्नोज हो रहा है तो अपने बच्चों का चेकअप ज़रूर कराओ. तो दिस इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट.
मैम, आई हैव हर्ड कि लाइक एक एंगल क्लोजर ग्लूकोमा भी होता है.
करेक्ट.
मैम, व्हाट इज दैट एंगल क्लोजर ग्लूकोमा?
सी बेसिकली क्या होता है, जो आँखों का फ्लूइड है, नॉट द टीयर्स, लोग परसीव करते हैं कि जी आंसू बहुत आ रहे हैं हमें, वो आंसू नहीं है. आँख इज़ अ बॉल विच इज़ फुल विद वाटर एंड द वाटर दैट वी कॉल्ड एक्वस ह्यूमर जिसको हम कहते हैं, वो आँखों में एक तरह का एक नल है, समझ लो इसको सिलेरी बॉडी बोलते हैं, वहाँ से वो बनता है. अब जैसे मान लो वॉश बेसिन है तो वॉश बेसिन का आपका बोल है, समझ लीजिए आँख है, नल है जहाँ से पानी बन रहा है और वो ड्रेन हो रहा है ड्रेन से. तो नल से पानी आता है, ज़रा ड्रेन होता जा रहा है. अब मान लो वो आपकी ड्रेनेज बंद हो जाए तो क्या होगा, पानी ड्रेन नहीं होगा. तो दैट इज़ प्रिसाइसली व्हाट हैपेंस इन एंगल क्लोजर ग्लॉकोमा. आपके आँख के कॉर्नर पे जो कॉर्निया है उसके चारों तरफ एक एंगल होता है जिसमें एक ट्यूब होती है जो पानी ड्रेन करती है. तो एंगल यूजुअली काफ़ी वाइड होता है, ऐसे अराउंड 40-45 डिग्रीज, बट वो नैरो हो जाता है तो वो ट्यूब दब जाती है और पानी ड्रेन नहीं होता. तो दैट इज़ हाउ यू डेवलप एंगल क्लोजर ग्लॉकोमा.
So, ma'am, as there is a rise in corporates in ophthalmology, ma'am, it is getting, I would say, like those guys can spend a lot on marketing, which a single practitioner cannot. So, ma'am, like, how would you differentiate your practice from the big giants?
So see, I think medicine is something which has always been doctor centric, and it is trust of the patients which brings the patient to a doctor. And एक बार you know that अगर ट्रस्ट बन गया तो डॉक्टर्स को पेशेंट्स फॉलो करते ही हैं. वो कहीं भी बैठेगा, कितना दूर भी बैठेगा, तो दे गो. And now with corporates coming in, patients are drifting towards these corporate hospitals. But corporate hospitals, we all know, have their own challenges. बड़े बड़े हॉस्पिटल्स हैं, starting from you're parking your car, you're going into those premises, you're waiting in queues, there is appointment system, then you get to see your doctor, then if you want some surgical procedure, you're getting admitted somewhere else, you are going to a TPA desk which is on a different floor. So I think when we talk about patient-friendly environment, this is where the smaller dedicated practices have an edge over these corporate hospitals. A patient who's walking into a clinic like or center like ours, there's something which is very readily accessible. And when they're coming again and again, they know the team, they know the infrastructure, they know where is the TPA guy sitting, they know where is the counselor sitting. So, and the communication with doctor is much more easier. So I think जिसको कहते हैं ना एक आपको personalized care, which is the USP of these standalone practices, I think can never be overtaken, can never be overshadowed by these corporate hospitals. So I think corporate hospitals will have their individual share, but I very strongly feel that private practitioners and solo practices will continue to thrive, because the kind of trust and the kind of personalized care these patients get, that is why they come to smaller places also, and things are faster, things are quicker, and things are more personalized. So that is one of the very big USPs, I would say.
Ma'am, as you are a private practice owner, and ma'am, you have to think about marketing, you have to think about patient satisfaction, then you have to think about the operations, कि patients का waiting time कम हो, then you have to think about finance and all the other areas of business. Ma'am, how do you manage all these different areas जिसमें आपका expertise नहीं था, but you had to develop that expertise?
Satyam, that's what I told you in the beginning, that while we are getting trained and you're jumping into private practice, nobody tells you that you need to do all these things. See, you are a clinician, you're a surgeon at heart, and you have never had a formal training in managing people, managing finances, looking at marketing. So it was a big struggle. And especially what happens when you're starting afresh, your finances would not allow you to hire somebody who can take care of these things. You can't have a HR guy, you can't have a marketing guy in the beginning. So you have to, you have to compartmentalize your timings. Maybe 80% goes into clinical and 20% goes into admin. So I started taking off half a day on my Thursdays, taking care of admin part, finances, looking at marketing. And gradually, when you start to grow big, you can have different people you can hire. Now I have operation manager, there's somebody who's looking into finances, somebody who's taking care of HR. But in beginning, you are one man show, you're wearing all the hats at different time, but you have to do it in the beginning, and then gradually, as you grow, you can hire people.
So, ma'am, was there a moment when patient walked into your practice and while treating that patient, you changed the way you practice? Any patient story?
I will deviate from the question and answer it in a little different manner. So, if I compare my patient interaction while I was in AIMS for almost 10 years versus what I do in my private practice now, is that patient used to come कि भाई ठीक है, आपको ग्लॉकोमा है, हमने देखा प्रेशर ये है, हमने दवाई दी, चले गए. आपने कैटरेक्ट है, आपको हमने कैटरेक्ट सर्जरी बताई और आपको हमने एडवाइस किया, वर्कअप कराया, आप चले गए, हमने सर्जरी कर दी. See, outcomes and clinical decisions were not compromised at AIMS also. They were dot on what it was supposed to be. But now, when I'm into private practice, a patient who's walking into my clinic, I see him as a whole. I see him as a person. And many times, my interaction starts with a chat that, what do you do? What do you do in your routine? So that I know better about my patient, so that I can deal and treat him in a better manner. That is number one. Number two, many times these patients come with some stories, something bad is happening in their life. They have lost somebody, they have come out of some illness. And it is so emotionally overwhelming the moment patient is sitting across in the chair, and the tear starts to flow, and they start to they really want to share it. So I think this is what something which I have changed myself, that yeah, sometimes you are pressed for time, you have to go into the OT, you have to see the other patients sitting outside who are just waiting for their turn, and there's somebody who's sitting across who wants to share a sentence or more about themselves, what's going in their life. So I pause and I listen to them. I think that is something which has changed in myself, that I give them a ear. मैं सुनती हूँ कि भाई आप क्या कहना चाह रहे हो. And I think that is something which takes away a lot of their sorrow. So this is what something which I have changed.
So, ma'am, like in your practice, like you have like more than 5 doctors working with you, ma'am. But like you are in a leadership position, I would say. So, ma'am, like how do you manage your team? Like, what's the main mantra? Like, how you manage your team, and what that leadership skill has taught you?
See, I mean, you have to lead by the role you want them to play. So you have to play that role first yourself. So I think first and foremost, in my opinion, is the sincerity and the discipline which a doctor should have. So I always lead by examples. I am dot on time. I spend good time with patients, and I don't leave clinical part unattended. So that is something I have always valued. But second, very important thing, when you are in a private practice and you have your entire team of doctors, for you to, I mean, send patients to those doctors, you have to really start telling patients and be appreciative of their clinical. So you need to highlight their USPs कि भाई मैं आपको उन डॉक्टर के पास भेज रही हूँ, ही इज़ बेटर देन मी इन दिस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड. बिकॉज जब आप पेशेंट को चीज़ बोलोगे तभी, बिकॉज द पेशेंट हु इज़ वॉकिंग इन टू complete eye care, majority of the time those patients are coming for parals only. But when I'm trying to grow big, I need to let that thing go, because then only my visiting consultants and my other consultants will grow. So it's a challenging part, but you have to learn to tell patients that the other doctor is better than you in this particular field, and that is why we are seeking their opinion, and that is how those other doctors and the practice grows. And secondly, even when you are interacting with the doctors on personal level, I mean, you have to convey that faith and trust that you are a part of my team and I trust you fully, and I can trust all my patients under your care. So that is something which you need to convey.
So, ma'am, like you have a practice in very premium area. So, ma'am, how your practice needs to be evolved to justify that setting?
सी प्रीमियम एरिया की अपनी चैलेंजेस होती हैं, बिकॉज प्रीमियम एरिया में आपने एक बहुत अच्छा सेटअप बना लिया एंड पेशेंट्स आ रहे हैं, बट patient will not come only for the infrastructure or for the building or for the facilities that you are giving. Patient is coming for doctor. So trust building is something which is very much needed and it is very demanding. ट्रस्ट इतने जल्दी नहीं बनता. तो ट्रस्ट के लिए भाई आपको पेशेंट को इनफ चेयर टाइम देना है, आपको पेशेंट को सुनना है वो क्या कह रहा है, आपको पेशेंट को सही ट्रीटमेंट देना है, एंड एट द सेम टाइम कंफर्टेबल एनवायरनमेंट के बावजूद भी अफोर्डेबल भी होना चाहिए. सो ऐसा नहीं कि यू से दैट आई हैव मेड अ स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट प्लेस एंड आई मीन इट्स अनअफोर्डेबल. So what we do is that we have tried to, sometimes we try to keep those packages कि भाई आपको कुछ multiple investigations कराने हैं, so we can bundle them up and we can make a package which will not be very hard on your pocket. Secondly, we have the entire spectrum of, I mean, options available, starting, as I told you, that we offer them a monofocal lens also, which is, I'm not saying Indian lenses are not good. We offer them monofocal Indian lenses, monofocal imported lenses, and on the other hand, we are offering them the imported trifocal EDOF toric lenses all. So that spectrum gives patients comfort that they are coming to a place which their wallet will be able to afford. But again, the center point, the center philosophy of your center and your practice has to be in place. It has to be patient centric, कि भाई पेशेंट की केयर के लिए और पेशेंट के अच्छे आउटकम के लिए जो भी जस्टिफाइड है, दैट हैज़ टू बी डन.
मैम जैसे लाइक अभी लाइक यू सेड कि लाइक यू हैव बंडल्ड थिंग्स अक्रॉस मैम अदर हॉस्पिटल्स. मैम व्हाट आई हैव सीन इज कि जैसे फॉर डायग्नोस्टिक्स एवरी डायग्नोस्टिक टेस्ट इज सेपरेट चार्ज, राइट? जैसे कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ somebody has to do OCT, somebody has to do this, there is a different charge. Ma'am, it's a good idea to like bundle that
Yes.
with a package.
So what we have been doing is that for example, a patient, so you have so many investigations, but for example, a patient of glaucoma who's walking into my clinic, or a patient who wants a refractive surgery who's walking into my clinic, or who wants a cataract surgery coming into my clinic. So we have packages, so that whatever investigations are required for glaucoma, we group them together and work out the best package for them. Similarly for cataract, similarly for refractive surgery. If you charge them individually, it's going to be, it may exceed their expectations. So better that we bundle them up and make it affordable to the patients.
So, ma'am, if any ophthalmologist who is thinking of starting his own practice in a premium area, ma'am, what advice you would give them to position their practice in a premium area?
See, when you're thinking of opening a practice in a premium area, I think making an infrastructure or making a clinic is the easiest part. The most difficult part is to build up a practice. And practice is totally trust driven. So, beautiful premises or beautiful waiting area can attract a patient once. But for you to have that patient coming back again and again with all the problems requires a lot of trust building, which is very, very demanding. So I think when you're building a clinic, it is very important to have your core values in place, like compassion, honesty, have a good team, invest in a good team who's careful and who's caring for the patient. So I think if you focus on these core values also, and obviously the clinical outcome is the most important thing, you'll have a smooth sail and a successful outcome.
Anybody who has choose ophthalmology as a career, and ma'am, they have to navigate through the career. Ma'am, what is the best piece of advice you would give to them?
See, I would like to tell them ki bhai, don't get scared, don't keep that fear in your mind. If you are really passionate about ophthalmology, don't think it's a difficult surgical branch, don't think it is too expensive. You can start taking small steps. See, none of the surgeon who enters into the OT for the first time enters with confidence. So confidence धीरे धीरे एक्सपीरियंस के साथ आता है. पहली सर्जरी करते समय हर डॉक्टर शेकी होगा, हर सर्जन शेकी होगा. So don't think that you won't be able to handle. If you know that you are passionate about ophthalmology, work hard, stay focused, and अपने dreams को chase करना मत बंद करो. And I'm sure you will hit the jackpot one day.
What do you think what a 25-year-old is doing wrong and what 25-year-old is doing right?
25-year-old doing right is that they are very tech savvy. So they know what is happening around, they adopt to technologies very quickly, be it, a social media marketing or learning newer techniques, anything which is new. So that is something I really appreciate. And sometimes their hunger to learn. But what I would, maybe one thing which I would like to change about these youngsters is that sometimes they appear to be in a race. They appear to be in a hurry. लगता है कि सब कुछ बहुत जल्दी मिल जाए. So मेडिसिन प्रोफेशन में क्या होता है, there is a very slow incubation period. I still remember when we were struggling, we were doing our senior residency, हमारे fellow colleagues जो engineers थे, they were already well established, अच्छा earn कर रहे थे, घर ले लिया था, job थी, सब कुछ था, और हम सीधे night duties करे जा रहे हैं, we were learning. So मेडिसिन प्रोफेशन चेंज हुआ, बट उतना भी चेंज नहीं हुआ है. So one has to be little slow, you have to go through those years of rigorous training, there is no escape. So जो जल्दी है कि भाई हम जल्दी से सर्जरी सीख लें, जल्दी से सब कुछ कर लें, सो आई थिंक इट हैज़ टू फॉलो इट्स नेचुरल कोर्स. तो मेडिसिन हमें धीरे धीरे एक्सपीरियंस के साथ ही आएगी. यू कांट बी हेयर इन 1 year's टाइम. सो लोग कहते हैं ना, अभी भी पेशेंट्स एक ग्रे हेयर वाले डॉक्टर के पास जाके, मे बी अगर उसके हाथ शेकी भी हों, बट उसके पास जाके ज़्यादा कॉन्फिडेंट फील करता है, बिकॉज इन मेडिसिन देयर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स विच कम विद एक्सपीरियंस. एंड इट्स नॉट एन एस्केलेटर कि भी आप चढ़े और ऊपर पहुंच गए. सो यू हैव टू वॉक ईच एंड एवरी स्टेप, यू हैव टू क्लाइंब ईच एंड एवरी स्टेप. There is no shortcut. So this is what they have to understand and learn, that there are certain things which are going to come with experience and there is no shortcut. So don't treat it like an escalator.
I'll end this podcast with my last question, which is related to ophthalmology. Ma'am, what are the latest advancements in ophthalmology you look out for, which will take like 5 to 10 years to arrive?
I think
which will enhance this field?
I think entrance of AI is something which is going to change the way we diagnose and look at these eye disorders, especially the retinal diseases, the glaucoma and all. And I am really looking forward to systems or devices or innovations which can help us to pick up these patients at a much earlier stage where we can start treatment, because both diabetes and glaucoma are, and age related macular degeneration are blinding diseases. And though we have had a lot of newer things, we have newer devices, we have injections which have kind of changed the, which have brought a change in the management of these diseases, but we are still not there. So I think early diagnostic using AI is something which I am looking forward to. In field of cataract surgery, which has been evolving ever since I entered into the field of ophthalmology, I think the ideal intraocular lens is still something which we are wanting to have, which will give you the entire spectrum of vision without any compromise on contrast, or giving you glare and halos, or giving you dysphotopsias. So I think I think some newer medications in the field of glaucoma, which I would be really looking forward, which can help patients protect their vision till the very end.